Welcome back to Studio Friends, and Hot Toys just released the blogger photos for Black Widow Artisan version. And 30 minutes later, roughly, Inart drops their promo photos for Wonder Woman, which also has rooted hair. Let's take a deep dive and take a look at both of these and compare the two and see which one's better than the other. And if you haven't already, make sure you like and subscribe. It's free, and you get some free videos, some free content from yours truly. Anyways, all right, first let's take a look at Black Widow. Initially, when the photos came out, I thought it was fine, and if you watch my previous videos, you know I'm not that big on rooted hair, especially the female characters, because it kind of just looks way more doll-like, even though these are, 1/6 scale dolls. It still kind of ruins the realism for me personally. However, looking at these blogger pics, I think they might have won me over. They might have won me over for the rooted hair, especially with this Black Widow. And first picture right off the bat, looks great. She looks great. But the hair, though, the hair looks great. Like, it doesn't look like, doll hair, like Barbie's hair. And I feel like this is a hard hairstyle to kind of nail. I'm really liking this, the gray background. I love blogger photos. I hate when they kind of like try to make it look like a scene from the movie. It just makes it look fake. Makes so you know it's not a screenshot from the film, so you know it's a toy. But when it's got like just a gray background like this, it kind of just looks like a costume test they did prior to the movie. If you've seen those, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, like this photo, it's like that hallway from that scene, and it kind of just looks more like a toy. But overall, yeah, this is a great photo. It's a great photo. That's like that pose that she's doing on the cover of or the poster for Winter Soldier, even though this is from Iron Man 2. But like that looks like ScarJo. Like that looks exactly like Scarlett Johansson. The face is incredible, especially for a final product. These look really, really good. Like normally kind of like takes like a backseat, it kind of goes down a little bit in quality from the promo photos, but I feel like this actually looks better than the promo pics. The promo pics were good, not great. Yeah, even like where the hair meets the skin, like when the hair meets the face, like it all looks pretty seamless. Like it doesn't look like the kind of just like the hair just starts there immediately, like a clear line. Yeah, there you go. You can really see the hairline there. Yeah, the eyelashes too, just everything, the skin texture. Like like I said this in previous videos, competition has been the best thing for Hot Toys because Inart's first figure was Joker, and at the time it was very, very good. And then Hot Toys immediately felt the pressure. And then I feel like they've almost taken back the crown here. The photo looks amazing. This is where the hair looks amazing. The hair looks real. It almost looks sculpted in a way. That's how good the rooted hair looks, if you know what I mean. Like it looks exactly how the artist intended it for it to look. That's a cool pose. Yeah, man, this figure looks. I'm like, I'm not gonna get it, just because I don't really collect too much Marvel stuff unless I worked on the movie. But if I did, yeah, this would be automatic, automatic pre-order. Or it would have been too late because I wouldn't have pre-ordered to begin with. So yeah, Black Widow's looking pretty damn good. Like if you were to rate that figure out of 10, that's a 10 out of 10. Could possibly figure of the year, realistically. This is how real it looks, the posability, the likeness, the rooted hair. That's like a man, the figure might be figure of the year. And 4 years in the making, Inart finally have released Wonder Woman. They've announced it 4 years ago, and then now they finally have the promo pics, which is so funny they released it like 30 minutes after Hot Toys released the blogger photos for Black Widow. There obviously must be some like insider knowledge, like they know what's going on, who's going to post what, when, they'll release what. They did the exact same thing with Superman, and so they did it again with Wonder Woman. So let's take a look at this. Okay, first photo. Right off the bat, looks good. Don't get me wrong. It definitely looks good. The hair looks great. You can kind of tell they sculpted sort of like where the hair meets the scalp, and then they have rooted hair outside on top of that. The silicone body looks really good. Like I think that might be one of the better silicone bodies because I find other ones, like I got She-Hulk up there. They didn't do too much like texturing on the actual body itself, but this one like actually looks like real skin. Yeah, I saw some people online kind of complaining about the likeness, and I get it. Like in this photo, it kind of looks like Gal Gadot. Definitely like the nose down. Looks like they have that little smirk that she has throughout the movie. This picture here, I think that looks straight away. That looks like Gal Gadot. Like there's no question about it. And I kind of like how they have the saturated color palette of the movies. Like I like kind of how they didn't do like how the costumes look outside of the movie. They kind of made the costumes colors look how it did on screen with that kind of Zack Snyder desaturation and like filter that he uses for his film. And this looks straight out of the movie. That's a very, like in these last two photos, looks amazing. Hair looks great. Silicone body looks good. Like that just looks straight out of the movie. Here, I don't know. Like the head sculpt looks good, not great. Like I'd give it like the head sculpt an overall 7 out of 10, but there's some angles where it's dead on. Here it doesn't really look too much like her. I think it's the same problem I had with the new Superman. It like the figure looks like Superman, but it doesn't look that much like David Cornsweet. And I'm finding the same thing with this Wonder Woman. Like it looks like Wonder Woman, no doubt, but whether it looks like Gal Gadot is a different question. It looks good. Like I think that looks like Gal Gadot there, and like this photo too looks like Gal Gadot. Like I see what people are saying that it is that like this isn't 100%, especially if you're like this is a figure you've been like waiting and waiting for, and especially you've been waiting for it since it's been announced 4 years ago. I can see why you'd be a little frustrated. But here, that looks like Gal Gadot too. I don't know. And yeah, the silicone body is great. This is a really cool. I don't think it looks too much like Gal Gadot here, but it looks like Wonder Woman. Like she's way more jacked than Gal Gadot got for the movie. But this is a really cool. This is a really cool pose, and you can really see like how much mobility and flexibility they've given this character. Like if you actually got this, would you put it in this pose for long periods of time? Like I feel like the elbows would split, especially this being Inart's first silicone body. I don't know if I'd trust it. Like if you know with like Hot Toys when they started introducing them, I think it was with like Gamora. The elbows snapped like immediately, like the plastic, like the silicone around the elbows. And I know that they've made it much better, and now it's like medical grade silicone that they've been using. But even still, like they use that on She-Hulk. Like I wouldn't put her arm in a bent pose like this for a long period of time. Guaranteed it would snap, or guaranteed it would rip. So yeah, this is a very cool pose. But if someone would actually do it, I don't know. This looks like Gal Gadot again. Overall, this figure looks really good. Like that smirk in like certain angles makes it look exactly like Gal Gadot. Um, and you can see like yeah, the texture in the leather, the texture in the outfit, everything just looks super super crisp, super super accurate. And the tiara on the forehead, like the detail on that is insane. But just to get all those small tiny lines, that's not easy. It's not an easy thing to do. And if they can replicate that in the final production, like that'd be crazy. Yeah, but I kind of feel like they softened her face a little bit, like in post. And maybe they got in like Photoshop and they did a little bit like too much enhancement there. Like that doesn't even look like the same figure between pictures 12 and 13. Like that doesn't even look like the same figure at all. Yeah, and you kind of see like the dandruff. Just another thing with the rooted hair. And like you have to have the rooted hair figures like behind glass because if you get any kind of dust on the hair, like it's game over. Actually, speaking of, I got a review of some acrylic cases that I've been using for my figures, which would go really well with a rooted hair figure if you have open shelves. That looks exactly like Gal Gadot. I think that's one half of her face. I think that kind of shows. The half of her face that has the smirk is the side that looks like Gal Gadot. The other side, not really. So it depends on the angle of the head that you have it will determine like the likeness of the actress. And here's some of the accessories. Real bare bones. This might be controversial, but I really like the bases that Inart have been doing. I kind of like the minimalist approach that they've been going with. Like I think this is a great looking base. Like I love the base that they used on their version of Superman versus Hot Toys one. Like the Hot Toys one's like grand and big, but I just love how like the simplicity that they can do, and then also just capture exactly exactly what it's from, where it's from, and which character it's for, with doing very little. Yeah, the Inart, their hands are always really good. I find with Inart, they do a lot of good detail on all their hands. Unlike Hot Toys, I feel like they reuse a lot of like especially male characters. They just reuse the same hand for everybody. Yeah, overall, that's it. Okay, so Inart Wonder Woman doesn't come with a whole lot. Overall, the likeness of Gal Gadot is probably like a 7 out of 10. Not perfect, and for the price that you're paying for these figures, is probably gonna be well over $600 Canadian, probably closer to 700 with like duties and shipping and everything, which is a pretty penny for a figure. And if it's not looking 100% like Gal Gadot, is it really worth it? But you can get like the Hot Toys version, which still does not look as good as this one, but it's also about half the price. So I don't know. Inart generally do a good job of listening to their fan base, listening to the audience, and kind of tweaking the figure as they go along because this is not going to be released for like 2 years. So between now and then, I'm sure they'll make enough changes to make it look like a 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10 type likeness. But if you were to compare this to the Black Widow figure, it's night and day. Like the Black Widow figure is so much better, I think, than this Gal Gadot. Wonder Woman, Hot Toys knocked that one out of the park. Like I think that's to set a whole new bar of 1/6 scale figures that now Inart have to try and reach, and which is a great thing because now what Inart did to Hot Toys and push them to up their product quality, maybe now Hot Toys is doing that with Inart. But at the end of the day, the only thing that I can really take away, since I'm not going to get either of these figures, is that I'm pretty excited for Inart's Batfleck. I need a Batfleck in my collection. I didn't get the 2.0 from Hot Toys, so I knew the Inart one was coming sometime this year apparently. So waiting for that one. Overall, between Inart's Wonder Woman and Hot Toys Black Widow, which one do you prefer? Did you get one? Did you get the other? Are you getting both? Let me know down in the comments below. And if you like this kind of content, make sure you hit like and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one.